yo, people really got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, even kneeling to that flag, like, I have no African descendant in my blood. I'm a Native American. So, literally, I'm a Cherokee, I'm a Blackfoot, I'm a Red-tailed Indian. That's what's in my blood. And the other is mixed with European. And for somebody to say and tell me not to kneel, you crazy. Like, y'all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people in America is indigenous people. You're not from Africa. But that's a whole nother conversation. Like, that's crazy, man. For you to tell somebody, like, yo, stand up to this flag. Nigga, you know what this flag did to us? That's like you like, yo, accept crack in your neighborhood. Like, what? Nigga, you know what this crack did to our neighborhood? Like, how could you accept that? That's crazy. And it's nothing I can say but get chastised. So it's crazy. For me to even say it's crazy, bro. It's not right. In all due respect to every race, niggas know black people don't crack. Like, black don't crack.
Yeah, black don't crack. That was
it rhymes.
yeah.
Shit.
What's it inconsistent?
Well, indigenous don't crack.
Indigenous
the natives don't crack.
The natives don't
You can
crack.
see a native and he could be 90 years old and still look like he's 50. I'm talking for the natives.
Yeah.
I like when
When it comes to talking about African Americans, I have no education with that. Period. I don't. I'm not even connecting to that no more because that's a system. That's like connecting. Say, hey, he's a bad guy. You don't hang with him. Oh, hey, I'm gonna find out for myself. I'm not African American at all. My folks is not from Africa, and a lot of people in this room, folks ain't from Africa. Might be a couple, but people just don't understand. I asked my grandma, like, yo, grandma, what's your background? She like, Redfoot and Black-tailed Indian. What? Yeah, my mother and my father, we 100% Indians. Ask my other grandma, we got Cherokee in us, and European and Italian, a little Dominican. It's crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why I'm African. Y'all look at me funny, like, nigga, I'm African. Like, you're not though. Like, you're not. 80% of slaves was already here. It was natives. It's crazy.
80. Where you get that number from?
Shit, I just checked the books.
Which book?
Yeah.
I got a whole laptop full of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for me reading. It's not a solid book like, hey, just only 1,000 slaves came here. And nah, nigga, you gotta read. You have to literally read. Like, I'm so deep into it, I don't think about a slave ship. I think about what was a slave ship called? Jesus. What the fuck was a slave ship called that Christopher Columbus was on? Who funded that slave ship? Who paid for it? But we gonna get to it. I don't want to get to it like that. Like, trust me, it's deep. It's deep, bro.
But the question I have for you in regards to identity then, some blacks don't want to be called African Americans. Some refer to call as black. So with you saying you're not African American, you're more of the indigenous, your grandmother and your grandparents from the Native American tribes. Do you address yourself as Native American? Do you address yourself as black? Do you address yourself as African American?
I'm other.
So you're other.
I'm uneducated. I'm uneducated. So for me to sit here like a college professor or professor, I'm wrong. I'm uneducated. I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? But I'm damn sure not black. You're not gonna call me black. My grandmother's not Crayola. Like,
So
no,
then,
I'm connected to a tribe. I'm from a tribe, not a country. It's a big difference. Different laws, different everything. Like, big difference.
Let me ask you: Did you watch the BT Hip Hop?
In America, the whole world think like America. They don't. Black and white people exist in America. When a white person, quote unquote, go to Europe, no, you're not white. They're not white out there. They're European. So Europeans looking at you like a white guy. You know, it's different. All American. Like, we're Americans. We're not white. We're not
This
black.
is based on your travels. So you somebody who's traveled.
I
the
travel.
world.
So if I ain't travel, I wouldn't know. So I know what's really going on when you move around. Like, shit is an illusion here. Like, I don't think about nobody being racist, because I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you the look like, yeah, nigga, be racist. We'll break your jaw. Like, I'm not coming like, hey, sir, can I walk in here? Hey, yo, what a bathroom? I gotta go to the bathroom, sir. The bathroom right here? Thank you. It's stern. It's serious. Like, when you know somebody is wrong and racist or whatever, be serious with them. Stop trying to come eye to eye. Nigga, he don't see eye to eye to you, so they racist. So I don't understand how people keep protesting and doing all this boycotting shit, trying to see eye to eye with people that's for over 40 years don't see eye to eye with you. These niggas' grandparents never see eye to eye with you. So how you expect the kids to see eye to eye with you? It's a different approach. I just don't really respect all these approaches. That's how I feel, and that's how the younger generation feel. That's why you got
I follow you for these reasons. I always like giving hearing your response to things, even if I don't always necessarily agree with it. I think you always come from a thoughtful perspective.
Sway, before you say, but I don't want to make niggas feel like I'm on some other shit because I'm saying I don't want to connect with African Americans like I'm saying fuck black. It's nothing like that. It's that my eyelids is up, and when your eyelids is up, you read about everything you put in your mouth, you say out your mouth, you walk, you talk, and you conversate with. And I'm just up. I'm awoke. That's just what it is. I don't live for money every day no more. I live for the truth.
Brother? If you were to walk into any mosque in America
and you just laid your hands on the first person or the third person or the fifth person that you see, you realize that you're laying your hands on a Native American. There were only 8% of the slaves that came to America. So how is it that there are so many more people that they claim are black or African American? I think they got the numbers wrong, because a lot of Native Americans are the ones that they're counting as black folks too.
What's up, people? What's up? If you're tuning in, there's a good chance you've seen the interview or some of the interviews Waka Flocka Flame did too on High 97 and Sway's Universe, where he's going in. He's saying, "Don't call me black. I'm not black. I'm not African American. Black's a color. It's a Crayola. It's a, it's not a people. It's not a nation." He's saying, "I'm not all this." He's also saying, "Hey, my ancestors aren't from Africa. I'm indigenous to North America." And he's saying he's tribal. He's what you would call an Indian. And he's not coming on from a stupid level by saying that. If you're on this site, if you just peruse through the Moors in America website, moorsinamerica.com, you'll see what I'm talking about. There's a ton of information out there. You have documents, things that are hundreds and hundreds of years old, where you have the European explorers describing the natives that they met and how they looked like the so-called African American. You have things that are thousands of years old, where the natives, the indigenous people, painted themselves and described themselves, and they made themselves look like, quote unquote, black people. I'll show you some. Just typing in Mayan paintings, okay? Now I'm just typing that out the blue, okay? This is on crystallinks.com, which definitely is not an Afrocentric site, okay? Alright? So they're not putting this out here to make quote-unquote black people feel good about themselves. These are paintings, contemporary paintings from different people of like modern things. But this painting that I was just looking at, that was from the inside of a Mayan temple. This is too. Some of the paint has been scratched off, scraped off. But this stuff, okay? Where's this at? Bonampak. Okay, so this is either in Belize. I think this is in Belize. Okay, so you have temple, pyramids, and on the inside the people are black. Dark brown skin. Some of them have dreadlocks. Some of them have braids. You even have people that have the do-rag tied, like looking like Tupac, right? And I'm not making any of this up. I can't make this up. It's amazing, right? And this is in Mexico, but it's like that here too, where I'm at, in North America, what you call the United States, right? So everybody I know has a Native American granddad or grandma or great grandparents, right? I know I do. And most people like me have this in your this oral history of who you are. And so without getting too deep into that, because if you want to know more about that, you can just go right here to Moors in America, top article right here. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock because we were already here, right? And this just breaks it down and goes more in depth on this topic than I'm going to do right now. But basically, yeah, Waka Flocka was on 2 different radio shows, Hot 97 and Sway Show, and he was saying it, and he did a good job. He articulated himself well. And he's like, I'm not on some self-hate mess. I'm not down in Africa or acting like I'm ashamed of who I am. He's saying the same thing I'm saying, and it's the same thing a lot of people are saying. And it's not that celebrities are waking up or doing something that no one else is. It's just that so many of us are waking up that it's starting to hit the mainstream. If the media and the news was real, okay, if it was real and honest and really represented the people, it would be talking about what's going on in our community, because it's a big deal. There's a cultural awakening. You know, there's a Moorish Renaissance. There's a Hebrew Israelite Renaissance. There's so many things taking place right now. So many quote unquote black people are realizing that, hey, the labels Negro, black, color, we didn't create this stuff. These things were all created by think tanks of people of European descent and placed on us for no reason at all. Well, they had reasons, but they weren't to our benefit. And so we're giving it back, you know, like on this video, Waka Flocka is like, I'm not black. Yeah, you can have that. And he's not the only one that's saying this. You know, a lot of people have grandparents like this, and you know, you're not even listening to them. You're not even looking at that. You're not thinking outside the box. You're thinking what you were given. And the crazy thing is that when you really look at history as we're told and taught in school, it makes so much more sense for you to just look at your own family's oral history, which is very important, especially if your family has been attacked through slavery, if your ancestors were forced to walk the Trail of Tears, people getting kidnapped left and right, sold off into slavery, like in the movie 12 Years a Slave, okay? And you actually have laws on the books, like in Virginia and other places, where just thousands and thousands of people are just being classified as Negroes who are Indians, okay? Indigenous Americans, real Americans, okay? And then if you look at the people calling themselves Native American today, you know, they're either of the stock that came over the Bering Strait, which you have people like that. Of course, you have people who came from the Siberia area, from Mongolia, and came to this land. And then you have the people who they call black today, right? So yeah, people are waking up, and it's real. And there's really nothing that can be done to stop it now. The cat is out the bag, you know. I think Waka Flocka Flame opened up a can of worms. He said a lot, and it was real, and I appreciate that. And I was just looking at some other stuff that he did. You can all see all this on the site, the Moors in America site. Waka Flocka's up on the Moorish information too. I guess he was hipping this other dude, black youngster, to the game, letting him know we Moors, little bruh. And I guess Kodak Black knows about that too. He's on the Hebrew Israelite stuff, and I mean, like, all this stuff is tied in together, right? You know, Keke Palmer made a statement on her social media that she's not African American, and she took her time and explained it in an intelligent fashion. Okay, she didn't just say a bunch of ignorant, stupid stuff. She wasn't saying I'm not black and all this stuff. You know, she's not accepting that label anymore, but she's like, hey, people that look like us were already living here. And what is the ignorant, foolish media do? And all these things like media takeout and stuff, they just, is Keke a coon? Who owns this media takeout mess? I'm pretty sure it's not people that look like us. You know, what are they doing calling somebody who's having a philosophical discussion, who people are having an awakening, you know, someone who's outside of the culture is framing this and saying, is this person a coon? And they're clowning and making fun of it. And then you have a bunch of people who just go on and say a bunch of stupid stuff. This whole website, Lipstick Alley, for the most part, is just foolishness, you know. There's a couple people on here, though, who approached it from a different angle and who are smart, which is showing you that people are waking up. We're waking up. A lot of people were upset, you know, because they're not thinking outside the box, but as you can see, people are waking up. This person, whoever it is, said it's not a conspiracy, it's a fact. We were in America before slavery and other places. Not just here, not just in Africa. We're all over the place. Okay? And it's kind of crazy to even talk to people who don't think outside the box. You don't want to accept anything if it hasn't been given to you by the people who were hanging you from trees. Okay, but yeah, like I said, some people are waking up. What she said is true. It's sad that a lot of African Americans don't know this, right? So people are waking up, and that's cool. Kendrick Lamar, another guy who said, don't refer to him as black. And he said that in his song. I remember seeing that getting played out throughout the media. And he's like saying that he's an Israelite. He's a Hebrew Israelite. Nick Cannon wearing a turban. He let them know on the Breakfast Club that it's about the Moorish mentality. It's like he doesn't subscribe to some religion or school of thought. And I'm coming from the same angle as him. You know, I'm not limited by religion, spiritual. So I understand completely where he's coming from. There's a huge awakening taking place. The media is not covering it. I mean, any chance they get to cover it, they're going to clown it. They're going to clown it and try to belittle it. So we have to do what I'm doing right now. This is our media. We're telling our story, and it's time to tell our story. Stop accepting what you've been told. You know, I'm telling you, everything that you're seeing out there is doctored. Even the DNA tests. The DNA tests are flawed, extremely flawed. There's one where there's these African American scientists, a man and a woman, and they have, I forgot what it's called, but they're, you know, telling everyone they can trace you back to what tribes you came from in Africa. And even the guy, I forgot that doctor's name, the man, the one of the founders, he said that it's limited. They can only go through one lineage, and then they can only match you to the people, different tribes in Africa that they've got samples from. So they've sampled like 40 or 60 different groups of people in Africa. There's hundreds more that they haven't even sampled. Okay, that's one thing. And then two, the things that all these DNA tests, not just that one, are matching you to is flawed, because like when they're matching someone for Native American ancestry, they're not matching us as Native Americans. Okay, they're going off of Mongoloid stock. Like they're only going off of like people that are like Eskimos. Okay, that's how come they have a ton of people who are like, who aren't even in America. People who are from places like Greece and Croatia and different places like that. They're getting like high percentages of Native American ancestry. They're getting like 20% Native American, 30% Native American. And the reason why is because it's matching it to this genome of people that they have who are related or distant cousins of the people who came over through Siberia. So you got people who would be called Mongolians today, and that's what they're considering Native American. And that's like a dumbed down version of it. But this is why you have somebody who's Greek, who's never been to America, whose ancestors haven't even come over here, who's getting a Native American, you know, ancestry result. Okay? So I'm telling you, like, that stuff is flawed, man. They're telling you that your ancestors came from sub-Saharan Africa, and it's like, well, damn it, every human on Earth's ancestors came from sub-Saharan Africa, if you want to go back that far, you know? I mean, that's a possibility. I'm just saying. So that all of these things are flawed, you know. You need to go off of what your own family knows. I mean, I'm blessed. My grandfather always told me that his father's a Blackfoot Indian, and his brother was a historian. He retired Air Force. He traced our family history back so far that he was a huge deal. He actually would go on doing lectures at schools and showing people that he's got like centuries and centuries of records for this quote-unquote African-American family. That's my baby in the background. So, you know, and that's rare, because most quote-unquote African-Americans don't have history like that. So I know we've been here for a long time, and nobody can take that from me. You can say whatever you want, but I know that for myself. And since I know that, and there's a lot of people who have similar backgrounds as me, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. And hell, shit, you know what? My family's huge. I mean, there's a lot of us, and we've been here for hundreds of years on paper, you know, under this system that we have. And so I just wanted to add that, and definitely share this video, get the word out. It's time. We're waking up. There's nothing anyone can do about it to stop it. We're here. This is the biggest secret. This is what's been kept in the vaults. You know, this is what's been hidden. The movie National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. This is the real national treasure. This is the real thing that they were hiding in the vault. Our identity. You know, we're Hiram Abiff. You know, Hiram Abiff that was killed by the ruffians, the other Masons, and just buried. Okay, we're the Hiram Abiff. We're the secret. We're Solomon's key. It's us. Okay, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look some of the stuff up on Google. Nowadays, you can do it. So that's for all the Masons out there. But that's really all I wanted to say, and just spread the word. Let everybody know it's time. We waking up. Can't anything stop us? Nothing can.